in the night. Every word feel different when Gerod go live. Gerod on the radio, whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerod on the radio, truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store. Whole city locked in. Streetcars roll while the city stay awake. Everybody got a story, everybody got a way. Funny how the phones go quiet when he name names. Funny how the pressure rise when he shift the conversation. He talks schools, streets, money disappearing. Backdoor deals that the public ain't hearing. Things get buried when the cameras don't roll, but the people tune in cause Gerard let it unfold. From the jazz in the streets to the smoke in the sky, New Orleans still fighting, still holding it high. And the city feels seen every time that he speak, cause the truth hit harder when it finally run deep. Now the whole town riding with the station on loud, hands high while they sing every word through the crowd. Can you feel the city breathing? Every late night conversation, through the speakers, through the rain. Ooh, New Orleans, don't sound the same. Gerard on the radio, whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerard on the radio, truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store. Whole city locked in. Yeah. You're now rocking with Gerard, the voice they couldn't silence. New Orleans, stand up.
Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now. It is Monday, folks. Welcome to the Reality Check. Yours truly, Gerard Stevens, along with the extraordinarily one, the extraordinaire. She is the extraordinaire. Who is that? That is Suzette Bagnaris, the attorney extraordinaire. Mm-hmm.
Hello. I am doing great. How about you, Gerard? How was your weekend?
I mean, I had a great weekend.
Good. What'd you do?
Went to Mobile, Alabama's. I didn't say Alabama. I said
and
Alabama's.
what did you go there for?
I actually went to hang out, just to hang out. Went and got a chance to go to the African American Ethnic Heritage Festival that they had this weekend. Went and spent the weekend. I gotta say this. Can't go nowhere without somebody knowing who you are. I got to send a shout out to Mr. Roy and Miss Light. She thought I was going to forget. Yep. I know she cracking up right now, and all the family members is about to call us and say, uh-oh, y'all didn't forget. Yep, Miss Light said that she listens every day. Mr. Roy stopped me as I was being greedy, getting a snowball at a snowball stand, and he said, ain't you Gerard? I was like, damn, I'm in Mobile. And somebody did walk back into the little audience where they were having the jazz festival. And then I saw Nisa Davis. Do you remember Nisa Davis?
I do not.
Nisa Davis was the midday air personality over at YLD when I was the operations manager. One of the best talents and one of the best friends that you could have. I just lost track of her because she left and went to St. Louis. After she left Mobile, I brought her from Mobile to New Orleans, and she left New Orleans and went up to St. Louis. And now she's back down in Mobile. So it was good to see her. Got a chance to meet Mr. Roy. I saw Mr. Roy get out there and start dancing. I said, it's on now. Because they had a brass band. Now hear this out. They had a brass band. All girls. Remind you of what's the name of the people here?
The Penettes.
Penettes?
Mm-hmm.
Remind you of the Penettes. All white girls come below and turned the place upside down. Turned it upside down. I was like, from Brooklyn. They weren't from here. They weren't from the South. They were from Brooklyn. This is their first time playing down in the South. They was like, we just want to make sure that we giving everybody homage. I was like, boy, y'all did that, and they did. They really played. So got a chance to do that. Went to Africa Town.
I didn't even know there was an Africa Town in Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
It is mostly the celebration or just remembrance of the slaves that were being transported from up north, further north, like the Carolinas and that area, and they were bringing them down here to do work. And it was on a ship called the Cotillia.
Okay.
And they have peace. They found the ship. The ship, of course, was marooned, and then it sunk. So they found pieces of the ship, and they have it in the Black Heritage Building that is in Africa Town, and it's a great place to go. And I was actually telling the young man that is more, he's a dedicated dedicated individual that graduated from that area where the schools are, and also went to the military and came back and bringing the military there to help him restore those areas. So it's really interesting, real interesting. I loved it.
Well, that's a good, trip, short trip,
Mm-hmm.
daytime trip that
Yep.
if families wanted to go give their children an experience
Mm-hmm.
of African culture, of African American history, that would be a good place to go.
Africa Town.
Okay.
Go ahead on and check it out. And then of course, we were there, from Friday. I came back Sunday. So, and I'm gonna tell anybody, if you want a short trip, take the Amtrak. Go straight to Mobile.
I think that's a great experience too, and exposure for our
Nah.
kids
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do that.
Okay, never mind. It just went on. It just came on.
There are
No,
some
ma'am.
things, some people never get to travel beyond their square block, beyond their mile.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very important for people to get a chance to experience other things. So, that's a nice day trip that
Yep.
people can take with their kids
You can do it on
and
the weekend.
expose them to something different.
And look, instead of driving, I'm gonna suggest to everybody, take the Amtrak. It's $37.
Can't beat that.
No, you can't. And a little bit higher if you don't get just the regular passenger seats. But if you get the like the passenger car, the family car, you can get your room, the whole deal, where you can
Okay.
have. It's really nice.
Sounds good.
And
Good
it's
thing.
not no long, borne out trip.
Right.
And you get a chance
Something
to
you
see
can
piece
do
of
on
the
a
car.
weekend,
Yeah.
or you can just make it a day trip.
Mm-hmm. So, and then come right back. I mean, because the train leaves out here first thing in the morning, I think like 6 or 7 o'clock. You get there by 9, 10 o'clock. And it stops, all the different stops, all the way down the East Coast. Bay St. Louis, Biloxi, Mobile, Alabama, all of them.
And Brandon is sharing some information with us on our Facebook feed that Africa Town is the home of the West Africans, and they were brought to Alabama in the 1860s after the slave trade was banned.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is true. On that ship. And the ship was actually owned by two brothers that had a bet, and the bet was $1,000 that they could get African slaves on that ship and bring them in to do work. You was worth $1,000. That's it. And they were selling them. Like, wow. But those folks were resilient enough to start, building their own sections of town and start putting together homes for African Americans to live in. And I thought that was wonderful. I thought it was, even though that the situation was not good.
Right.
I thought it was wonderful that they had the entrepreneurship and also the thought capacity to say we can build our own homes. And that's what they did. Absolutely. So Africa Town, get a chance, go see it.
I'll have to go check that
Go
out.
see it. Yep, because it definitely is something very nice to go see. Not big, so don't expect it to be no great big old huge school or something like that. It's a building where they have pieces of the Cotillia ship, and all the lady that takes you through to do the tour, her name is Miss Pat, very versed in what happened. And she walks through and tells everybody here's what happened here. This is what this stands for. I mean, she's very versed. And she was a teacher in South Carolina. at South Carolina State. I think she said for like 17 years before she came back down here, and she volunteers and does it. So interesting, very very interesting. So what did you do?
Nothing.
All right, that sounds like you had a whole lot of fun.
And it was the best because, my job, as you know,
Stressful.
is very stressful,
Yeah.
very busy. And I really do need my weekends sometimes just to slow down and regroup.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I did this weekend. Attended to some things around my house, attended to some marketing for the cigar bar and some renovation things for the next phase of the cigar bar, which started today, and just kind of, recalibrated my internal clock.
I just love the fact that when I saw you today, I looked, and you kept on talking. I looked, and you kept on talking. I said, she has not coughed one time.
Well, as you know, I had been really sick for the last 3 weeks, and I've just been pushing through.
Mm-hmm.
So it was important that I, give myself some time to heal. So I'm all healed up, I'm ready for action. Not that I stopped, I kept going, but
Yeah.
at any rate, I'm ready. I'm feeling much better.
So what's happening around here?
Oh, my God.
Around here.
What's not happening around here? Before I forget, I do want to ask for assistance from our listeners. We are investigating a
Yep.
very big claim right now.
Mm-hmm.
And without saying too much about it, it'll be all over the news tomorrow, I'm sure, because we're filing the lawsuit today. I am investigating something, and I would like you to give me a call if you have some information. If you received a ticket or you were arrested by the Orleans Parish Levy Police or the Jefferson Parish Police,
And it's
But-
the levee police.
right, between 2019 and 2024, or if you received a ticket from them
Or you got your car towed.
or got your car towed by them, I need you to give me a call at 504-810-3995. Very, very important allegations that I am investigating right now. There'll be more to come on that within the next month.
It's the levee police.
It's
now.
the levy police. But there will be a major lawsuit dropping today against them. We'll be talking about it once it's filed. But this is another allegation that I have learned about in the context of investigating that claim.
Mm-hmm.
And I would appreciate your assistance if you have any information about that. That would be great. That would be greatly appreciated.
Now, on the other hand, there's another investigation that's going on, and we need your help on this one. First of all, you all heard us talking to, or heard us talking about Tiffany.
Tiffany Coleman.
Whose mother was one of those that were found at that funeral home out in New Orleans East, which was the crematory. And she said that the man had taken her money.
New Orleans Cremation Services.
And
Gary Lewis.
had taken her money and hadn't done anything. I am happy to say that I think pressure burst pipes. So he got under some pressure on the telephone calls that were made.
We made.
And he gave her back her money. I'm glad that he gave her back her money.
But the money he gave her back is not covering the complete cost of having her mother cremated.
Mm-hmm.
So, we still would appreciate some assistance in that regard, but we did pressure him to give her back her money.
Now, there are other folks out here that are finding out about the law firm and finding out that we are, not only just putting the pressure on it, but there may be some other legal actions to take place. We're not at liberty to say as of yet. But I will say this. If you're one of those and your loved one may be in that situation, meaning sitting there or at the coroner's office now, whether it's the ashes, whether it happened to you, whether it's the body, whether it happened to them, whatever, we need to hear from you.
Yeah, we're investigating. We received a very interesting call today that Mr. Lewis is literally driving around in a van and dropping off ashes to people unlabeled all over the state at night.
Hello.
I'm just blown away by that. He literally dropped some ashes off
Hello.
at a home in Vermilion Parish
Is this your address?
at night and told the man, opened the van, and he could see dozens of bags of bodies cremated inside the van,
And this
none
one's-
of them labeled, and
Hold
he
on.
says,
This one is yours.
this one is yours.
Yes. Hello.
How do you know?
How are you? Can I interest you in some ashes? Your forehead.
It's just,
Put a little bit on your forehead.
we're making light of a very serious situation, but can you imagine
Hello.
somebody rolling up to your door with the van, opening the van, and all of these bags
Let
of
me-
remains are in there, and he's trying to figure out
Oh,
which one to drop off at your house?
follow me to the van. I'll be more than happy to show you that I have your loved one. Hello.
It's bizarre.
Come this way.
I really think it's criminal, and I'm going to keep asking NOPD to really look into this and think about
Stand
whether
by
or
the
not
van.
there's some kind of criminal charges to bring. And
Would
the
you
fact-
like to take a picture with your loved one?
the fact that these things,
Hold
these
her.
bodies are being disrespected like this. These human remains are unlabeled, and he's just driving around willy-nilly with them.
Talking to
And
her.
that brings a question. I thought when they evicted him,
Hmm.
they took possession of
Mm-mm.
all of the remains. Well, clearly they didn't.
They did not.
If he's driving around with them in his
In a-
van,
In a van.
then clearly the sheriff did not take possession of all of the bodies.
Hello.
I mean, this is criminal in my opinion. I really do think that he is desecrating human remains by driving around with them in his van.
He riding, talking to him,
It's bizarre.
riding around.
I
Hello.
believe it's criminal. You tell me what you think. Call in and let me know. 504-582-9422. I think it's criminal, and I think he needs to be investigated.
Investigated.
Yes. Arrested.
There you go.
He shouldn't still be driving around with remains. Then we're hearing he's sending the remains to other crematories to get
And then tell 'em.
cremated and didn't even tell the people he
Nope.
was sending their bodies out to other people.
Mm-mm.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack here.
And
Um,
the more that we hear of this,
The more we investigate, the
There's
more
more
we
that
want to know.
Yep, there's more coming. And I mean, it's just like today, we found out new stuff.
Right. Today, with every call from someone who had loved ones there at the coroner's office or did not have them at the coroner's office, didn't know where they were, with every call, we're learning new information and piecing it together. And what we're piecing together is horrific.
Mm-hmm.
And this man should never have a license to do this kind of work ever again. And I just think he has forfeited his right to do that at this point with the way he has handled this situation.
So, to all the families, I can tell you just from the couple that we've talked to, I got to give you all big props. And I'm not giving you big props because this happened to you. I'm giving you big props on the way that you're handling it. Because these folks probably just one of the, if not the most horrific day that you could possibly think of when something like that happened. You're handling horrific months because we're finding that these bodies, these ashes, and I do mean bodies, are sitting in refrigeration for literally months.
And we're finding out the refrigeration is not working great over at the coroner's office.
Nope.
Here's another thing we learned today, and this is why I think this is just egregious behavior. So the person we spoke to today started dealing with him in April
Yep.
to get their loved one back,
I can't.
but yet he was taking money from other people in June to cremate their family member. You already knew you had a problem in April, and you're still scooping money from unsuspecting family members. I just think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. These calls are heartbreaking. I mean, G's making a little light of it because we have to, I think, because we are going through it
I mean,
just
we're
taking
going
the
through
calls.
We're going through it
The
just like
calls are sad. The calls are very
Yep.
depressing. Gerod's been handling the majority of them that are coming in. They're very difficult to listen to.
and guess what else I'm trying to do? And I think I put myself in there. Trying to make sure that he's supposed to get cremated.
He has reached out to other
homes.
funeral homes to make sure that these bodies get picked up from the coroner's office and that the bodies do get cremated. And he has gotten some funeral homes to work with us in doing that, to make it easier for the families who are going through this. So
Unbelievable.
it's really sad.
Who would have ever thought that this would even happen? This is one of the reasons why I say New Orleans ain't real. I was talking to Stephanie the other day. She said the same thing. New Orleans ain't real. All the crap that's going on here. So let me go back to Tiffany's issue. Very nice young lady, by the way. She came by the office.
Really
We sat
nice
down,
young lady.
Talked to her today. I talked to her aunt. Had a good time talking to her today. Well, not a good time, but a good conversation. And I got to thank our friends over at Professional Funeral Home, who gave us all the details, how it happens, no ifs, ands, and buts about this is what needed, this is what we need to do, here's how much it costs. We need to raise probably a couple of $100.
Yeah, just a few $100. It's the difference between the cost
right.
of what she paid to Mr. Lewis, about $1,400 to I think it's $1,600, $1,675.
So I say we need to raise probably about what, $400-500.
Yeah, and that would help that family tremendously.
So I'm gonna put up and release the GoFundMe, because the GoFundMe is already done. It has a number on it, but I'm gonna change it. We need to raise
and that's
a couple
going to
$100.
Tiffany. It's not in our name, not in our name, not in BOK's name.
It's
Just
in her
trying to
name.
help. We're
Right.
just trying to help.
So that we can get this one done, and probably gonna have to end up doing some more like this before it's all over with. All right, let's take the break here. We'll take the break. We'll come back, have some more conversation, and talk about some other stuff that didn't happen in New Orleans over the weekend. Y'all hold tight. More coming up next.
New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Protect your community. Build your future. Looking for more than just a job? The Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority East is hiring. Join the Flood Protection Authority on Tuesday, August 4th and Wednesday, August 5th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 6920 Franklin Avenue in New Orleans for a 2-day career fair. Meet hiring managers, interview for over 50 immediate openings, and discover a rewarding career protecting more than 1 million residents across Southeast Louisiana. Bring your resume and come dressed for success. Visit floodauthority.org for more information.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Did you hear the news? Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom has a new time. Catch us now every Wednesday at noon. Same program, same great conversations. Just a new time. So catch Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom this Wednesday and every Wednesday only on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about.
making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It is Monday. It is Gerod Stevens and Suzette Bagneris. We're here at WBOK 1230 AM. And just so you know, the GoFundMe for Tiffany Coleman has gone live. So we appreciate any assistance that you might be able to give. This is where WBOK and community helps one another, right? So let's step up and do that. Let's talk about something else. Are we prosecuting poor leadership or criminal conduct? Today, I want to ask a question that goes to the heart of equal justice under the law. The Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office is once again in the headlines after an inmate was found dead Monday morning inside of the Orleans Justice Center. According to the Sheriff's Office, a deputy conducting morning rounds discovered the inmate unresponsive in his cell. Despite life-saving efforts, he died. The New Orleans Police Department, the Sheriff's Office, and the Orleans Parish Coroner are now investigating. First, let me say this. We don't know how this inmate died. We don't know whether it was a medical emergency, a suicide, an overdose, a homicide, or natural causes. We should allow the investigators to determine the facts before reaching conclusions. But this latest incident raises a broader question for me. Not long ago, the public watched inmates set fires inside Pod 3D, attack deputies, and create dangerous conditions inside the jail under the leadership of Michelle Woodfork. Now we have another inmate death. There are serious operational failures that deserve public scrutiny, which brings me to Sheriff Susan Hudson, the former sheriff.
Yep.
So Susan Hudson has been indicted on numerous felony charges arising from the 2025 jailbreak, including malfeasance in office, obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and filing false public records. She has pleaded not guilty, and under our Constitution, she is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. But I want to talk about one of those charges, malfeasance in office. Under Louisiana law, malfeasance is not simply poor judgment, poor management, poor decision-making. It's not enough that an agency performed poorly or that something tragic happened on your watch. The law requires proof that a public official intentionally failed to perform a legal duty, intentionally performed that duty unlawfully or knowingly, and allowed a subordinate to intentionally violate the law. The word intentionally is what's important. And I don't think that Susan was accused of doing anything intentional. I think she was accused of being so negligent that they considered it malfeasance. So what is the standard? And why are we judging these two sheriffs so differently? And I'm not saying that what Michelle Woodfork is doing is criminal. What I'm saying is that what Susan did is also not criminal. It seems that they both have had very unfortunate situations to occur under their watch. Who could argue that Susan intentionally planned a jailbreak that would sabotage her own campaign? That makes no sense. That's not common sense. Clearly, she didn't do that. She might have been negligent, which caused the jailbreak, or people under her might have been negligent, which caused the jailbreak. But we've already had an inmate who was released wrongfully under Michelle Woodfork. We've already had, a fire. We've already had a riot. We've already had now a death. We've had deputies attacked. What I'm trying to say is this selective prosecution? Why is it that when things happened under Sheriff Susan Hudson, she's now being prosecuted, whereas we're now seeing things happening under Michelle Woodfork?
It's quiet.
And nobody is really attacking her for it or pointing fingers at her for it or suggesting that she's done anything wrong. Well, I guess what I'm saying is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I don't see a big difference or distinction between the two. And I just think that whoever is spurring this prosecution of Sheriff Susan Hudson really needs to rethink this. Because otherwise, it's really starting to look like selective prosecution.
That's Merrill.
Well, it's selective prosecution, Merrill. I mean, come on. I don't think any of these incidents amount to criminal malfeasance under either sheriff. Unfortunately, jails are very dangerous places. Things are going to happen, even with the most watchful eye.
This ain't no playground.
No, it's not.
They're criminals for a reason. They in lockup for a reason.
And they're scheming to get out, all of them.
And all you got is 24 hours in a day for someone that's in jail to think about how I can get out and how I can mess over this deputy that's looking at me.
Yeah, and I think consistency matters, right? The law does not and should not criminalize every tragedy or every management failure in a jail.
Mm-hmm.
But laws should be consistently applied. The question isn't whether one sheriff should be protected and another prosecuted. The question is whether prosecutors are applying the same legal standard to everyone.
And don't forget, during the same time now that we saw what they call the biggest escape ever in the history of Louisiana, which was a lie, because it was not. But also we saw other facilities across the state of Louisiana at the same time have escapees, and they didn't mess with none of them.
No.
I didn't have Travis Mackle down there hollering at me. I didn't have the boy over from Fox 8 hollering at me at a press conference, and all the disrespect that was happening at the same time. I didn't have a city councilman then request that the FBI or that Liz Morrell come in and prosecute him. That's what Jason Hughes did. He requested that she come in and do that. And I think people need to remember that, because now she's coming after y'all.
Definitely.
She's coming after all of those folks on the city council now.
With a vengeance.
With a vengeance, because you are a part of that crew. So you want to be a part of that crew? All right, just remember, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
You know, I just bring this up because I really think that maybe we need to give each other a little bit more grace. You know, Michelle came out very strongly against Susan Hudson immediately after the jailbreak, saying that she was incompetent.
See, these Negroes forget where they come from.
Right.
They forget where they come from. Ain't nobody on this planet perfect.
Nobody.
And I can speak for somebody that works for me, but I ain't sleeping with them every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that I can't watch them, da-da-da-da-da. I think Susan used some form of analogy of that, and then she got from a reporter, well, that's your job. And I'm sitting up there looking at him and saying, well, where are you now? Where are you now that all this is happening? And I got to tell you, when Susan took over, she was stopping all the killing that was going on in the jail.
To the best of her ability, with the institutional failures of the building.
Yeah.
The building itself has some problems.
And don't forget, the folks were talking about some last week jumping off the second tier so they can kill themselves. I can remember a report that they did with Channel 4 where she wanted to put up this mesh between the second floor and so the people couldn't jump over that railing to try to commit suicide. And they was like, nope, we can't afford to do it. But now they're talking about doing it now. I'm like, what's the difference?
I don't know. I just think that, you know, we need to look at these things more even-handedly. The same standard should apply to everyone. We should not selectively figure out who we want to prosecute based on political agendas. And we're seeing that with Liz Morrell and how she was handled when she got indicted. Now we're seeing this double standard, as it appears, with the things that happened under Susan Hudson's watch, and now the similar things that we're seeing happen under the Woodfork administration. at the Orleans Parish Justice Center.
I got this dude that's posting on here right now talking about some people asking him to step aside. They need to ask your dumb ass to step aside. I'm going to ask you to step aside.
What are you talking about?
It's coming. I just need to get that out there. He know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, with that said, I just wanted to raise that issue because as I saw this death in the prison this weekend, it made me think about, the fact that we are calling one person a criminal for these same types of things happening on her watch, but yet we're not holding the same level of accountability for the new sheriff. So anyway.
And this is happening from your first month to your second month to your third month. So you got a issue happening every month in the jail. And this is the epitome of what we didn't want to come back anymore. The deaths that were happening in there because either somebody killed somebody or somebody did something to take a life. And it's going to come back with foul play. Watch. This is not going to be, I can almost guarantee you this is not going to be natural causes. So,
well, we'll wait and see. We don't know yet, as I stated, whether this is a medical emergency, a suicide, an overdose, homicide, or natural causes. We're going to allow the investigators to determine that before we reach a conclusion. But I do think that this latest incident in a series of recent incidents raises the broader question. Are we prosecuting Susan Hudson for poor leadership, or is it criminal conduct?
Or are we prosecuting people because we got bad actors and you're expecting an underserved facility that doesn't
underfunded,
undermanned, under the water. I can put it under the water. And you're asking her to bring out a wand and do hocus pocus. But guess where we came from to now? That is better. But now we're going back again to seeing something happen every month. And I don't see breaking news. I don't see none of those little hit reporters all over social media saying, guess what happened? I don't see all that. Do you?
No, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the same level of coverage. I'm not seeing the same tone of coverage.
Nope.
What I'm seeing is just them reporting on the incident occurring at the jail, but never using the words negligence, incompetence, or malfeasance. When these similar incidents occurred under Susan's watch, the words being used by the media were incompetence, negligence, and malfeasance.
So let's use them again. I mean, they're just words, right?
Apparently.
That's what they use. So let's see if we can get some other folks indicted. We can use some words, see if we can get them indicted. I mean, that's what they did to her, which I have yet to understand. How do you indict somebody and tell everybody because of the escape, you going to jail?
Which it just doesn't make good common sense. Why would someone running for sheriff sabotage her own campaign by orchestrating a jailbreak on her watch? Doesn't make any sense. She had nothing to gain from that. Other people did, but she had nothing to gain from that. So, anyway, just putting that out there. So I'm not trying to say that anything about Michelle being incompetent or being committing malfeasance or any of that. What I am trying to illustrate is that the same things are still occurring under her watch that were criminalized for Susan Hudson.
And the same things are not being criminalized
For Michelle.
Right.
So that just does not seem fair. That seems like selective prosecution to me. So
I think it's just the group that you go with.
it's your politics.
It's your politics.
And your politics, and I'm starting to see that. I saw this with Liz Murrell, and now I'm seeing this with Susan Hudson and versus Michelle. This seems to be your sphere of influence and your politics driving whether or not you are getting indicted and what your treatment is once you get indicted.
Wait a minute. Say that one again. One more time.
Your sphere of influence and your politics seems to be driving whether someone gets indicted and how they're handled once they get indicted. You want me to break that down?
Yeah, because I'm a little slow. Talk to me too.
So, apparently Susan wasn't in good with the good old boys in Baton Rouge.
She wasn't part of the clique.
She wasn't part of that clique. She wasn't driving up and down the road to Baton Rouge to meet with Jeff Landry and Liz Murrill. She was not putting Jeff Landry people on her team.
On her payroll,
in her administration. So when these things happened under her watch, she ended up getting indicted, and now she's being criminally prosecuted. Mm-hmm. Michelle, on the other hand, was driving up and down the road even before she got sworn in, meeting with Liz Murrill, meeting with Jeff Landry, allegedly. And not allegedly, she put people who are Landry people on her transition team, like Stephen Gillette.
Well, who else?
There was a few others. So, it seems to be your sphere of influence.
Now, for those of you that don't know Stephen Gillette, Stephen has some very close ties to not only just Landry, but also the congressman, Steve Scalise. So, at what point in time have you all been best of buddies that you need to put him on your transition team? That was a political favor. That was a political favor. And then I know plenty of folks that ran up and down the street for you, that did all this hunting for you, and were promised certain things, and they can't even get a return telephone call. Right now. Right now. What you mad for? Should have known that yourself. Should have known that yourself. But politics is nobody's friend. Politics is nobody's friend. And as one person said to me, guess what? It's just politics. Remember? It's just politics. Okay. I will remember. It's just politics. That's going to be my theme. It's just politics. Politics is a bitch. Just remember that. Because it's coming. The other part of that you got to remember, you have to remember this, y'all. If you're not getting the quality of service that you need to be getting, don't y'all dare believe that these folks ain't got no money. Because they boys and girls is making a whole bunch of damn money. Good Lord. And ain't none of them screaming about, oh, you making $200,000. They making $200,000. But trust me, them same people that's trying to fit in are going to be the same people that's got a problem before it's all over with. And then you wonder why the common person, your folks that cheered you on, ain't coming running and telling you, oh, that's my boy, that's my girl, y'all leave him alone. No, because you screwed them too. You walking around with a dildo. No. But you screwed them too. And now they are pissed. And you don't even realize that they pissed at you. You need to start calling some of your old connections and ask them, are you pissed at me or something? Is that why I'm not talking to you? No, you're not answering your phone. Because they're the ones that's calling you and you know you did them wrong, so you trying to daggone block them. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight. We're going to take a break.
Hello, friend. Tavis Smiley here with a special announcement. You can catch my show at a new time. Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Same great topics, same great guests, same great conversations, just a little earlier in the day. It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m. only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
Get in on the conversation at 504-582-9422. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back. WBOK 1230 AM. The call-in number 504-582-9422. So I'm going to turn to our third topic, the Nolan Wells case. This case is in the national news regarding the death of Nolan Wells. There is a new development that could become very significant if it is authenticated and ultimately admitted into evidence. According to information all over social media, an audio engineer named Janetta Brantley has produced a cleaned up version of the CTO call. If that enhanced recording is authentic and accurately reflects the original recording, it may provide investigators with a clearer understanding of what was happening on the boat in the moments after Nolan Wells went into the water. Based upon the information, the voices on the recording include individuals who have been identified as Wyatt, Warren, Will, Bart, Nolan, and two unidentified females. Most notably, we're told, the enhanced audio captures the two unidentified females discussing the possibility of covering it up, quote unquote. That is very crucial evidence if it turns out that it is indeed an authentic audio. Now, when they're talking on the boat, what has been transcribed and what you can hear on this cleaned up version of the audio are these words that I'm about to read to you. Can we cover it up? Yeah, I thought all about that. Oh, you killed him? He's already dead. Is he dead? Yeah. Someone yells, Nolan. Oh my God, Nolan, wake up. Now this part is inaudible on the tape. And then it said, you hear somebody scream, Wyatt. Then you hear someone yell, get up, wake up. Then you hear someone yell, get TF up. Then you hear somebody say, damn it, Bart. And then you hear someone say, No-No's really dead now. Now, No-No is the nickname that these kids called Nolan by. What do you think of this tape? What do you think about this release? If this is true, and Janetta Brantley, this audio engineer, has indeed made the tape sound clearer, was playing in the background during the CTO call, that could be very damning evidence for all of the kids or young adults that were on the boat with Nolan. Also, another development that came out this weekend on this same case is several posts by Attorney Crump, who is addressing the fact that Nolan's grieving mother is being attacked on social media, particularly on her TikTok. She has been subjected to anonymous attacks while seeking answers about her son's death. And as the Wells family is continuing to demand transparency in the ongoing investigation, no one should weaponize online reviews to damage Wells' mother's professional reputation.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. And I even have the post in front of me. On the Yelp page for her business, people are now starting to go on there and post negative reviews, would not recommend her to her business. Apparently, she's a medical provider. And this woman, Tammy McQueen, posted, "Unfortunately, I'm looking for another medical provider. I don't feel Christine has my best interest at heart. I should be treated the same as parents and patients that share her skin color." Another person, Shannon Nicholson, posted, "I wouldn't trust her to care for anyone. I don't hate anyone that much to recommend her. Her oath is to do no harm." When you look at these posts, and I saw a bunch of them on her TikTok page because I do follow her, they seem to be from white women in particular and white men secondarily who have an issue with Ben Crump and Al Sharpton being in Mississippi and with race being discussed as a factor in Nolan's death. But they are truly coming out to post hate speech on all her social media pages and on her business page.
I mean, how low can you go?
How low can you go? How low can you go?
So these are more so white women.
More so white women.
How about if that happened to their son?
They are calling Christine a racially divisive figure. Several of the people who are from Ocean Springs or from that area posting on her page are saying we're not a racist town, and for you to allow these charlatans to come into our town to make money off of creating racial division is questionable character on your part.
Make money?
Yes.
On
They have a problem with Ben Crump and Al Sharpton and other black figures coming to Ocean Springs to investigate.
You know what I found out? And I found out some of
Colin Kaepernick, they have a problem with
right,
this.
I found out that some of this, and I'm going to take Colin, Ben, and Al out of this. I find that a lot of folks have problems with dominating, forceful figures that give the information and don't give a damn what you think. I find that that's not only just with certain people, that's with a lot of folks. They get all mad and they get defensive when they figure out that some people get involved with certain stuff. I saw that today when I walked into the conference room, had no idea who you were talking to. And I think I told you, but I told you in another way. I said the two attorneys that were on the other end of your conference call sounded angry as hell.
They did.
And I was on the other end of the hallway, but I could hear the lady and the man trying to disparage you.
Oh, absolutely. To the judge in a status conference.
And you were like, let me tell y'all something. This is what I got, blah, blah, blah,
I'm going
blah.
to give you the facts and nothing but the facts, ma'am. I am not going to get down on your level. I am just going to argue and advocate for my client, which is what I did.
And they were basically saying, yeah, judge, blah, 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 blah. And then the guy came in, and I did this, and I did that, and I did this, and you didn't do this, and never heard back from this person. Come to find out, it wasn't even you.
No, it was the prior lawyer.
And I was sitting there going, okay. I was getting a little, concerned. That's why I had to sit down and listen. But I looked at you. You didn't break a sweat.
Yeah, it's public record, so I'm going to discuss this one. We have sued Rouse's and a company called Inland out of Georgia for stealing Mr. Shrimp's recipe.
Mm-hmm.
he had his recipe in some of the Rouse's stores. He was invited by them to have some of his things there, and then they started working with him to develop the recipe on a larger scale, and they ended up, in my view, taking it.
Taking it from him.
So this is the case.
And then dropping him.
Yeah, yeah. And so, at any rate, this is what we deal with, though. I think that, in my experience,
I think it's corporate greed.
Black, forceful, intelligent, articulate people who are able to argue succinctly and make sound arguments to further their cases or their clients' cases. There are some white folk who have a problem with
it. You don't say.
You don't say. But at any rate, I'm not going to make this about me. This is about Christine Wansley.
I think that's one of the issues they're having with those two men. Those two men don't need none of them folks.
No.
And you're talking about Ocean Springs, and this is my gathering of information that I got from Ocean Springs. The average person out there is a fisherman. They're doing pretty well. They got their little houses, boats, their own little community out there, and some of them folks are pretty well off.
Right.
So now you got all this going on, and they're mad because ain't nobody asking them for help.
No.
I got Al Sharpton and I got Ben Crump. They got their own money. As a matter of fact, last time that Al came through Ocean Springs, he said, I didn't come in here to ask you all for no money. I'm bringing you some money to help with the investigation.
Let's talk about it. Ben Crump doesn't need any more money.
No.
Okay. He's doing it for the love of the game at this point, because he has already made a fortune and could retire yesterday if he wanted to. He does not need to be out here litigating anybody's case. He could be living on an island somewhere, enjoying the good life with all the money he has made.
But I think with anybody taking that type of position, no matter who they are, whether it was Ben, whether it was Al Sharpton, whether it was Kaepernick, whoever it was, or whoever it could be, they would hate him anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
They hated Dr. Martin Luther King. They loved him, but they hated him.
Hated him to the point that they killed him.
Yep.
I just think that it's a reality, and people are going to criticize you when you are doing things that shake up the status quo.
But my mama always told me, you ain't doing nothing if nobody's not talking about you.
Exactly.
So if they talking about you, that means you're doing something.
Absolutely.
Keep doing it.
And, supporters have said that Nolan Wells' mother, Christine Wansley is her name, has been targeted with these 1-star reviews on her professional profile as the investigation of her son's death is underway. And that's really ridiculous to impact her job like that when the family is already going through the worst time of their life. I can't even imagine. Now, and the mom tends to go on social media at this point as she grieves.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about her son. She's talking about how much she misses him. She's talking about, how she's struggling on a day-to-day basis to keep her faith alive. She is talking about the investigation, not in detail, but just, this is what happened today kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think that there's a lot of hate that we're seeing on social media by internet bullies who hide behind their bully platform on social media with their fake names and their fake pictures and their fake profiles.
Mm-hmm. Sitting in front of a computer screen
Mm-hmm.
with a cowboy hat on, a diaper, and some cowboy boots.
Right.
Drinking a Budweiser.
Now, she also posted, I think it was over the weekend, she posted, please do not call my or my husband's phone trying to give us advice about how we are handling the death of our child. And she put that in all caps, telling us how to handle people and questioning our legal team. We are all doing our best. And at the end of the day, the only question Elmore and I need answered is, in all caps, what happened to our son Nolan. And then she ended with the hashtags Justice for Nolan Wells, hashtag Forever 18.
Is she right?
I think she's 100% right.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has the right to tell these parents how to grieve, to tell these parents who to hire, to tell these parents who to investigate, to tell these parents not to make it racial. They can do whatever they want to do.
All right. Let's take our break. We'll take our break here. We'll come back for the second hour, which this hour went by really fast.
It really did.
We'll come back, take some more telephone calls at 504-582-9422. Got to say it again. What's going on, Roy Light? Friends down in Mobile.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
You made all kind of friends this weekend.
More coming up,
wherever
y'all.
you
Everybody
go.
hold tight.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Texas officials are warning that persistent flooding could worsen the spread of the New World screwworm, a flesh-eating parasite that threatens livestock. Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller.
We're up to over 40 cases now. What we're doing is not working. The USDA has failed, in my opinion.
He says wet conditions help screwworm larvae survive, raising concerns for cattle producers across the state. New U.S. tariffs have taken effect on imports from dozens of countries. The Trump administration says the new duties target goods linked to forced labor, while President Trump argues tariffs are a key tool for protecting American industries and creating fairer trade conditions. And the CDC has linked 4 additional states to a nationwide cyclospora outbreak. Health officials say cases in Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania are now connected to an investigation involving shredded iceberg lettuce. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It is Monday. Yes, indeed. The attorney extraordinaire is in the building, Suzette Bagnaris. And let's see who we got. We got Galloway. Hey. Galloway? Galloway. There he is.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Got you now.
I need to pay my Boost Mobile phone bill. Maybe you can hear me better.
That's Nyron's Boost Mobile.
Okay.
That's his. Yep.
So you was in Africatown this week? You was in Africatown this past weekend?
Huh?
You was in Africatown this past weekend?
Sure was.
So you was down there for the cultural festival then, huh?
Yep, that's what it was there for. Went to the.
Yeah, I'm about to say towards the end of July, I think it's either the last weekend or the last few days of July. They had the cultural festival. You know, I did a research paper about the court case. You know, they actually took those men to court. The federal government did in 1860, and then the Civil War popped off. They just stopped trying the case, talking about they didn't have enough evidence.
Oh wow!
But the crazy thing about it, I think it's one of the mayors, their family, he's actually the slave trader, actually still owns property right around Africatown.
Oh wow!
And the descendants was trying to get get reparations back, and you know, just like any other reparations case, they're not trying to give up anything. But you can watch. I know 60 Minutes did a piece on it, and when I was down there, last time I was down there, Dr. Gates, the Harvard Tracing Our Roots, that guy, he did a documentary on them, and both of them are extremely good. But Dr. Gates go further deep down. He traced the ancestries of those people, and those folks actually got sold from Mobile all the way up to Selma, Alabama, and all between that.
Right.
But you know the craziest thing about it, they all tried to go back to Africa once they were freed. And the people that brought them over here would not send them back.
Right.
So
those are the two brothers.
Yes.
What was the name? I'm trying to think of the name of the boat. The boat was the Cleotha?
The Clotilda. It's the Clotilda. And you're talking about now the slave trader was Mayer, Timothy Mayer. That was a slave trader, and it was he had another brother. I forgot his name, but his last name was Mayer too.
So all of this happened on a bet. They just had a bet that they could do it. I was like, y'all spent $1,000 on a bet and ruined all these folks' lives.
Yeah, you got to remember, they bought each enslaved African for $100.
Yep.
They were supposed to go get 125. When somebody got wind of them, the ship started coming, so they only took 110, and 2 of the enslaved Africans ended up dying on the Middle Passage. So it was only a total of 108. And the court case, though, was crazy to me.
But please tell them what the Middle Passage is.
The Middle Passage is between Africa and the United States, across the Atlantic.
Yep. Okay.
So the most folks that didn't make it, they were thrown basically in the middle of the Atlantic. And that's how. So if you survive the Middle Passage, you actually survive enslavement, pretty much. So.
Right. And then if you didn't come down here, you went to South Carolina, which was the biggest port at that point for the slaves. And in South Carolina, you would walk through that. What was it? What was the passageway there? The passageway in South Carolina was the point of no return.
You talking about Ghana, or talking about leaving Africa when the door of no return?
Yep.
That's Ghana in Africa. That's West Africa, the door of no return.
Right.
Now, when you got the South Carolina, the biggest slave port was South Carolina, but you know who took over that port, right? New Orleans. New Orleans was the number 1 slave port in the 1860s.
Okay.
And it was the third. Yeah, New Orleans, right there at Algiers Point.
Mm-hmm.
They took them from Algiers Point to right to Congo Square. And New Orleans also was the 3rd largest city at the beginning of the Civil War because of all the enslaved Africans and from the people from Haiti. Because during the Haitian Revolution, when them folks, the Haitians were kicking their behind, they put them folks on the boat and sent them to New Orleans. So, that's how my ancestors got from North Carolina to Orleans Parish.
Yes,
they misbehaved, they sent them down to New Orleans. We're going to send you down the river. But, you was talking about Nolan Wells. Have y'all seen the phone number issue that they having with the tip line?
No, what's going on with that?
If you was to call the tip line, the phone number, it was going to the judge phone number.
It was going to the judge?
Yes. You think I said, this got to be AI. But they had to clear it up. It was something with the last 4 numbers. So, in my opinion only, I'm not speaking for nobody, I believe that judge put her number out there to get tips.
The stepmother?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. See, this case gets crazy by the day. They're circling the wagon around them little boys. Well, not little boys, them 3 young white men. If you listen to that audio of the whole 8 minutes and 30 seconds, first they were sinking, then they wasn't sinking. We're going to take it here. We're going to take it there. We're going to do this. And then all this others talk about if somebody else was on that boat. If those voices are clear, come on, man. But how much of this evidence do they actually have? I'm talking about law enforcement, the sheriff. Because I don't believe they really care about this case anymore. They want these people to go away because it turns a negative spotlight on Ocean Springs. When you have a town of 17,000 people and you have 14,000 of Caucasian and then you have 1,400 of black people, of course they're going to say we ain't racist. We get along with them pretty well. Damn, it ain't enough of them to do anything. To cause any ruckus. So they are mad because you have somebody to sit there and say, no, you're not going to be able to do this to my child without me finding out what happened. And just because those people have status, because if I'm not mistaken, one of their dad is a doctor. So you got a judge, a doctor, and some other people that work in law enforcement as parents or step parents.
And Ledbetter, I think, is just as corrupt as anybody because he's the sheriff and he's not trying to help.
Oh, Sheriff Ledbetter is probably one of the worst in the world. The DA said Friday that they're not going, whatever evidence that they have or whatever they get, they're not sharing it with the public, and it's only going to go to the grand jury. Now, Gerard, and y'all work in the court system. Y'all know a district attorney can go up in there and say, yes, we're going to prosecute this or we ain't going to prosecute this.
Yep.
I'm only going to give out, I'm going to give out certain information, and I'm going to keep certain information. We know that's how that's going to be done. So I feel bad for that family, and these people really do not care about trying to hurt somebody. I keep telling black people, quit forgiving these people. They're waiting on this woman to break down and meet with that judge, and they hug and cry and kiss each other on TV and say, oh, it's going to be okay. No, ma'am. Keep fighting. I'll tell you again, Wanda Cooper Jones, 74 days after her son was buried, 3 different district attorneys till she got the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to prosecute the killers of her son. I think this is going to be the same thing. Because, see, the governor of Mississippi, he's on that same kick. But if you know, I went to college in Mississippi, so I feel real comfortable in saying this and telling people this. They're doing the same thing to these people, I'm talking about to the Wells family, as they did to the civil rights workers' families. This is all a bunch of hoax. You outside agitators come down here. I believe they all somewhere, they're up in Chicago having a drink and laughing at us down here. Leave us alone. We treat our N-word fine down here. That's what that governor is telling his the constituents. I'm talking everybody in Mississippi. Ben Crump and Al Sharpton is making it worse. No, Mississippi has a history of making things worse. Emmett Till is just one case that we all know about. There's all kind of Matt Parker Jones. I can just give you name on top of name. Medgar Evers. How many people have been shot and killed and nobody's ever went to jail in Mississippi? Been lynched, thrown over bridges from Ocean Springs all the way to Tupelo. Go through every county in Mississippi and you'll find somebody been lynched.
What I don't understand is why so much latitude is being given to the stepmother judge to get this involved in this investigation. Judge Carlos Moore, who was a judge in Mississippi, was removed from the bench as a judge because he made a comment with respect to the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse on his social media. He posted, if anyone still believes justice is blind in America after the Kyle Rittenhouse acquittals yesterday, you just refuse to accept an ugly truth. I can almost guarantee you that if Kyle had been black and killed 2 white men in the same manner Kyle did, he most certainly would have been convicted. There has never been a greater need for black lawyers and judges in America to keep decrying the blatant inequities that exist in our criminal justice system and to keep pushing for our colorblind and more equitable justice system. So he posts this on his private social media. He used to be the president of the National Bar Association, which is the Black Lawyers Association. And they end up removing him from the bench in Mississippi, suspending him for a year because of this comment. He is now still licensed and practicing law in Tennessee, and he is running for Congress in Georgia. And he is very involved in this Nolan Wells investigation. But I just find it interesting that this judge makes just a social media comment on a case pending in Texas, and he gets removed from the bench. But this mother looks heavily entwined and injecting herself and trying to put her foot on the scale in this Nolan Wells case, and nobody's removing her from the bench. Nobody's accusing her of misconduct. Nobody is telling her to stop making public comments. It just seems to be different discipline based on the color of your skin.
Well, you know, they had filed an ethics complaint against her. I don't know how far it went. And I remember Judge Carlos Moore. He was also one of the first judges in Mississippi who would not try a case under that Stars and Bars flag. He got in a little trouble about that. But the old Mississippi flag, the same Mississippi flag, if you look at the picture of Ashley Cole, that Stars and Bars is behind her. This is all Confederacy connected. You know, so that woman knows what happened.
But both of them are judges in Mississippi, same state.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Carlos Moore makes a social media comment about a case he's not even involved in, he's not presiding on, and they suspend him. But yet this woman is in Mississippi, and she is a witness at the very least if not a defendant in this particular criminal case, and they're not doing her anything, and she's crossing the line.
Very much crossing the line. But like I said, this is a good old boy system. They are going to protect. I'm telling you, once once the sheriff found out who kids was involved, that's why they treated this thing as a possible drowning and it's an accident. Never treated this as really a missing person. They never treated it as criminal. That's why they're going with that narrative. This was an accident. This was a drowning because of who was involved. But the more those young white men keep talking, the more they're going to get themselves in trouble. We got a case right now in Texas, right here in Austin where I live at. Nobody is talking about it. I have no idea how national news have not picked this up. A young man, in my opinion, was having a mental breakdown. He calls the police, says he believes somebody's walking around with a gun. The police shows up. They stop him, put his hands up. He goes for his waistbands to show them his water bottle. They shot this young man 20 times. 17 years old black boy. I said, how unbelievable. So what I'm getting at is every city is going to get touched by this crooked and evilness in this justice system that we call justice. Lady Liberty, supposed to be blind, I believe she has that little scarf over her head peeking her eye out. Now, y'all have a good day, and make sure y'all hug and love y'all children, because tomorrow ain't promised to nobody.
It's just like the video of the police officers taking down this young man. They said had a knife, and
in Wisconsin,
like how many police officers? 4 or 5?
It was 4 police officers for one man.
And then one walked up and just shot him 3 times.
Executed him. He didn't shoot him, Gerod. He executed him. There was 3 headshots.
Yep.
That was in Madison. You go to Milwaukee, you actually had a white man on camera beat the heck out of the police. Not barely. I'm talking beat.
And wasn't the police officer running?
Running from it.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, he didn't even pull his gun. He didn't even pull his gun.
They didn't pull his gun. When they want to kill you, they're going to kill you. And if the police can get away with it, you don't think 3 well-connected white men from Ocean Springs can't get away with it?
Yeah.
So while you're doing the investigation, if you don't get out and vote, it's going to keep on happening. You got to think about it. That judge, she's elected.
Yep.
The sheriff is elected.
Yep.
The coroner is elected. The DA is elected. So when they say your vote don't count or ain't worried about voting, look at the people that's getting put up in there. I hope and pray nobody has to go through what that woman is going through.
I passed through there this weekend. I passed right by it on the I-10 this weekend. So you
should have threw out a bunch of firecrackers at them son of a jokers over there, bro, man.
I sped up.
I'll tell you, they didn't like me coming down there asking questions because I went right down there to their little party district and I asked them straight up, do you know this person? How long have you seen him? And some of them people, like I said, nobody wanted to go on camera and talk, but on camera, these some real party boys.
Yeah.
They got mamas and daddy's money and they spend it very well. Grandpa and them got money. Great-grandpa and them got money.
It's a well-to-do area. It's a well-to-do area. So.
Yes. Everybody. I told you my brother was a cop down there for 25 years. He been. I wonder what he's going to stay down there for, but that's his business. I'm not standing nothing that's Jim Crow. I'm good. So y'all have a good day, man. And
all right, Galloway.
Talk to him.
Talk to you, brother. All right, we got to take another break, y'all. We'll take the break here. We'll come back, have some more conversation with you in just a minute. Get your calls in at 504-582-9422. More coming up, y'all. Just a minute.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
In nearly 50 years of covering Louisiana's justice system, I have never witnessed the indictment of a sitting state attorney general by an Orleans Parish grand jury or by a grand jury in any other Louisiana parish. That was big news. Then came even bigger news. All of the charges were dropped by the special prosecutor assigned to oversee the case. Former Judge Lori White, the special prosecutor, says she dropped the indictment against State Attorney General Liz Murrill because New Orleans Mayor Helena Moreno and other city officials urged her to do so to ease tensions between the city and state. The mayor offered a peace sign asking Governor Jeff Landry to meet so they could resolve their differences. Landry said no, not until the city gets things in order. Requesting that the AG charges be dropped was another peace sign. Landry still said no, thank you. Landry and Murrill have no interest in being friends with New Orleans leaders. I understand not wanting to be friends with people who you think want you to be put behind bars for 80 years. The circumstances and the players are different, but what we have here is the latest chapter in a long history of the bruising political wars between the state and the city. It's not good for the city or the state. Who knows how this latest drama will play out? What matters is whether this legal grudge match helps citizens who want leaders who will improve their quality of life. Now, this unfortunate drama is damaging our state, our city, our judiciary, and our chances for more economic development. It boils down to this. It's a cartoon with characters bashing each other, and it's not funny. We deserve better. This is Norman Robinson. Off the Top.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
We are the rhythm of the streets.
The flavor in every dish.
The story in every song.
We are New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation.
We help artists build the future of New Orleans.
Because when the culture thrives, our people thrive.
Every note, every brushstroke, every dish is a door opening new possibilities for those who carry our traditions forward. And when we open that door, the whole city moves forward. For New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation, culture is our open door.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan, a heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. What you say, Chuck?
Hello, how are you all doing this evening?
Doing well, Chuck. How are you?
Doing fine up here. Very hot, over 100 degrees up here, the actual temperature. And my reason for calling is some of you all are talking about Ocean Springs, Mississippi. You know, the first time I've been to Biloxi, but I wasn't familiar with Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I've been before, but first time first person I know of that came from Ocean Springs, Mississippi was back in 1993, the year I came out of high school. I went to school at what's now University of Louisiana Monroe when it was Northeast Louisiana University. They had a running back out there during the time that transferred from the University of Alabama named Irving Spikes. He came from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and I found out was located in 1999. I see is right across from Biloxi, and he's first. When I saw Ocean Springs, Mississippi, I may see him on campus, fast forward to here 33 years later, and what happened was just occurred with Nolan Wells, and never I know Ocean Springs, Mississippi, never thought it'd be in the news like this. because I mean, in 1999 we came through there because my mother was down there for a teacher's workshop. She's a retired teacher here in the Monroe City School System from Carroll High School. She was down for a teacher's workshop and went on the Ocean Springs and came as they go across the water. You're in Biloxi. It's kind of like Monroe, West Monroe here in my area, Twin Cities across the Washoe River from each other. I see how it's laid out. But like I said, it's fast forward these years later, they never thought it'd be in the news like this.
No, I tell you, we're living in strange times. You don't know what you're going to see in the paper from one day to the next.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised every day when I start looking on the Advocate, on NOLA.com, or even in national news about what's occurring each day.
You're exactly right. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Chuck, y'all don't have no
like,
problems like this up in Monroe? Y'all don't have these type of issues?
We've had plenty of you. And what Galloway just come out, the cop opened fire. I remember when that happened back in 2007. I remember a guy named William Mark Henderson. You might remember that. Not far from where I live, a guy what happened? He had mental problems. He had a chain and a knife. And the cops came around on the street, like I said, Orange Street, and opened fire on him and gunned him down. That was in 2007, and it was a big, it was a big uproar about that. And what happened? It was up for election of the law enforcement getting a raise, and what happened when they knew that was on the ballot. It was also being so nice. They ended up getting a raise, but what happened? I think when they started seeing people, they were being so nice because they had you have a black eye on your departments. After what happened to William Mark Henderson, and people were very upset. We've had all kinds of things that happen up here. Yeah, it's not. This is happening just all around. It's no different like down. You're down there. Look at where you are. You have Jefferson Parish. You know what came out of Jefferson Parish with David Duke and all that kind of thing, and Harry Lee.
Look, racism is everywhere. We're seeing it
everywhere.
in every corner of the country, and we're seeing it in every corner of the world right now. Been here since the beginning of time. Probably will be here long after we're gone. But
Exactly.
we do our best to try to shine a light on it when we see it. Sort of like a duck. If it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck, and we can recognize it where we see it, and we try to call it out. So I think
Yes,
that's
you're
our
exactly
role.
right. You're exactly right. And Gerard, you were just talking. I say, remember this is the area where what happened with Ron Green. He was here in Monroe and going into he died in Union Parish.
Yeah,
with the state troopers.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's amazing when you start thinking about that. And I got to call Miss Mona. I'm glad you brought that up. But you got to think about something. They actually ended up settling with her, and a lot of folks don't even know that they contacted her and say, "Hey, let's settle. Let's get this thing down." Because the family got what, $4 million?
Yeah, something like that. Because she's living in Orlando, Florida now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they talked about it on the news. Yes.
And nobody. Did we have like massive coverage of that? Was that breaking news? Was it talked about on national news? I don't remember it.
It got a little on CNN, but it didn't really get all that. It wasn't getting the coverage like like with George Floyd and all those type things. And
speaking of coverage, Chuck, we've just come across an article that is on NOLA.com that you might find interesting, and I think our listeners might find interesting. The article is called "Inside Helena Moreno's Political Chess Game: Balancing New Orleans Needs Delicate State Ties." And in this article, she is talking about her political allies and her political critics. And she specifically mentions WBOK in her interview. She says,
"Oh gosh, yeah, I did."
Oh, you got to read it. I think it's just interesting. She talks about how in getting her message out that she is basically not coming on WBOK and has declined several requests for interviews. And yes, and what she says in the post is she was asked Well, this is what the article says. I want to be very clear. It says Moreno has an uneasy relationship with WBOK AM, which has a largely black audience. She has declined repeated requests to appear on any of its programs. And this is her quote. Are you ready? I just choose to do media requests and interviews based on who's going to be fair to putting my information out, Moreno said, and then declined to elaborate on her answer. And then it says one of the owners is Troy Henry, a business owner who butted heads with Moreno last year when she sat on the city council and opposed his bid for the French Quarter garbage contract. Moreno's administration has concerns this year about Henry's efforts to develop Bayou Phoenix, the shuttered site of Six Flags in New Orleans East. Henry said he and his co-owners have no issue with Moreno, but he couldn't help to poke at her. So let me just, it says Moreno appears once a month on Wild Wayne's show on WYLD 98.5, which also has a mostly African-American audience, and monthly on Newell Norman's program on WWLAM. Well, you know, Helena, I don't think that you don't want to come here because you don't think that people are going to treat you unfairly. I think you don't want to come here because you don't want to answer tough questions and you don't want to be held accountable. You want to go on shows where they're going to kiss you behind and throw softball questions at you and applaud you. Well, maybe that's not what you need. Maybe you need to come on shows where they will be fair and balanced and tell you when you're doing well and tell you when you're doing wrong. I think you don't want to come here because you don't want to be held accountable. You don't want to be questioned. You want to be pacified and praised. So since you want to be pacified and praised, then you go ahead and stay over there on the other station where they're going to hold you to whatever standard you want to be held to and not ask you anything difficult, not ask you anything tough, not asking you to speak directly to your black constituents. So go ahead and stay where you want to stay, Helena.
I'm going to jump in. Okay.
Go right ahead.
I need you to breathe. All right? You good? You good?
I'm good.
All right. Okay, good. But why would you go to a music station to talk?
Because she wants a softball question, not a talk show question. She wants to give an interview in between, back that A up, and where all my scamming women at or whatever. Spin that stuff. She wants to go over there. She doesn't want to come over here because she might get a tough question about the sewage and water board and her role on it. She might get a tough question about the city's budget. She might get a tough question about how we got in this debacle with the state. She might get a tough question about why she laid down and didn't support our judges when they were taking our judgeships. She might get a tough question about Calvin Duncan. So stay over there where you comfortable, Helena. Stay over there where they're willing to just pacify you, baby. You don't have to come talk to your black constituents. And guess what? We don't have to vote for you when you run again.
Yeah, that's kind of like it's like these people that go run. That's kind of like this person that's in the Oval Office right now. He is people he doesn't want to be bothered with, and he get in his feelings. And I see it like even on the sports level.
There's gonna be a couple of them that I'm gonna make sure that we're not gonna vote for. It's gonna be a couple of them.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like with coaches that don't want to go on shows to be interviewed. They can hit them with hard questions and they get in their feelings. They don't want to be on there. But when they're on the hot seat, and all of a sudden they want people to come out and support them. And they're like, no, you didn't want to come on our shows. And
if you don't want to come on this black radio station, stay out the black church. The next time you run, stay out the black church. You don't want to come to the only black radio station in town because, by the way, 98 is owned by white folk.
So that's usually the case.
And so is Q93. So you don't want to come to the only black-owned radio station in New Orleans. The only. So next time, stay out the black church. Next time,
Yeah, that's
don't
I always
ask
want
the
to go to the
black
black churches. You're right. They do it here.
Right. Don't ask the black politicians to endorse you. Don't get the black folk all on your letterhead. If you don't want to speak directly to black people, which is what I get here, and you don't want to be held accountable by the only black-owned radio station, don't ask for the black vote when you run.
You're exactly right, sis.
All right, Chuck. We got to take these other calls, buddy. I appreciate you.
All right. You all take care.
All righty.
All right.
All right, Cedric.
Oh, yeah, let's bring it here to New Orleans. Let's talk about accountability. Madam Mayor, since you feel that way about a radio station, for one of its four owners, seemingly to me, you keeping a relationship with your black voters seem like this station should be more important than one of its four owners. But this is what happens when we make things personal. My grandfather, who was a civil rights leader here with Mrs. Dorothy May Taylor, with Mrs. Oretha Taylor, used to tell me all the time, when you make a battle personal, you lose it. Accountability. To every black bishop that supported this mayor, to every black person that supports this current mayor, where is your accountability radar when you held the former mayor accountable? One of my Facebook friends posted this weekend, and it caught my attention, but they made it not shareable. We're worried about, it's funny how people worried about Cantrell in Vappy, but they ain't worried about Moreno effing the city. Let that sink in. That was the post.
Well, I'd also like it to sink in because I would like to know where the quote unquote, because this is what's in NOLA.com, biracial coalition that included former U.S. Representative Cedric Richmond, black pastors, Juan LaFonta. You tell me, y'all, it's okay with y'all that she's snubbing the only black radio station in town and felt comfortable enough to admit to it in NOLA.com? Y'all feel comfortable with that? You feel comfortable with your candidate that you elevated to this position doing that while you serve the black community? I would venture to say all of Juan LaFonta's clients are black. So you're okay with this?
And can we add the Tribune to that? I don't recall reading anything where she's done anything with them. So again, the city is still over 50% black. Black people, it's on us. This is so disrespectful right now in present time, and we are allowing it. And all of you black people that endorsed her, what's your position? Y'all are quiet. Thank you for allowing me to say that.
All right, Cedric. You got heated on that.
Well, I think it's very disrespectful. And I think that now she's saying out loud what we already knew, right, which is that she will not come here. She refuses to come here. She has no respect for this black media station. She doesn't feel like she needs to speak directly to our black constituents from this radio station. And for her to put a spin on it, like talking to Wild Wayne on FM 98, makes her down with the black folk when that radio station is owned by white folk, or talking to him on Q93 makes her down with the black folk when that radio station is owned by white folk, is spin. It's complete spin, and we're not falling for it.
Yeah, and the most I'm looking at is you're doing individual conversation pieces that are a minute.
Right, and Juan, you worried about the raisins in a potato salad. Shouldn't you be worried about the mayor actually saying on NOLA.com that she's not going to respect the only black radio station in town?
I missed that one. What?
Oh, he was all over social media saying that white lawyers aren't like black lawyers and you shouldn't bring your cases to the white lawyers because they put raisins in the potato salad. And he got a lot of heat from white folk for what they consider to be a racially divisive comment. Okay.
Racism.
Well, you're talking about that.
In a potato salad.
Yeah, that's what they said. But here's the thing. This was your candidate. Are you okay with her disrespecting the only black radio station in this city? Shouldn't you call her on that? If she was my candidate and I was standing arm to arm with her on the podium, I'd sure call her on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if she's doing, and I'm not taking up for her because she's wrong. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She's wrong. But that little, I think the little tiff that her and Troy has been something that's sticking in her side because Troy ran those commercials.
But here's the thing, Gerard.
But
she ran to be the mayor of the entire city.
It's politics.
She needs to be bigger than that.
It's just politics.
Oh, it's just politics? Mm-hmm. No, it's not just politics.
It's just politics.
No, it's disrespectful, and I'm going to call it what it is.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it in that. I'm talking about her. It's just politics. Mm-hmm. That's what was said to me when that was done to me. I was like, no, it's not just politics. Call it what it is. And you just did. I just did.
I'm going to call it out when I see it. It is what it is. But she made it very clear. She has made it very clear now. Mm-hmm. She has expressed it in writing that she is intentionally.
Oh, that was a jab.
Not coming to WBOK.
Yep.
Because she feels like she will be treated unfairly.
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it too.
I'm good with it.
Stay over there because if you don't want a platform to explain yourself and to answer tough questions, stay where they're going to throw you the softball.
And I'm always going to tell you, stay over there. And the reason why you should stay over there is because what we do, you can take that ass whipping every single day. Take this ass whipping every single day. It'll eventually show up. And I can tell you, it's going to show up sooner than you think because the word on the street is the reason that they backed down with Lori White. Is Lori White did not want to back down to be the prosecutor.
Big Daddy Trump called him.
Big Daddy Trump supposedly called the mayor and told her, if you don't damn get rid of that, I'm going to take all your federal funding from you. And what you did, punked out. Can everybody say it together? Punked out. Now, how you like that? If that's not the truth, why don't you come over here and tell us? Pick up the phone. It's not the truth. But everybody that I know is telling me the same thing. Big Daddy Trump then picked up the phone for his little boy and said, if you do not take that dag indictment off of this AG, we're going to take and get rid of all your federal funding. You won't be able to get it.
Bet they won't ask her about that on WWL.
Nope. They're not. And Wayne just don't know. So, guess what? We'll ask you. We're asking you now. You want to answer? Call us and tell us.
And let me say this. I consider Wayne a good friend. Been knowing him since high school. I'm not speaking ill of Wayne. Mm-mm. But it is a fact that that's white-owned media.
I trained Wayne.
And it is a fact that this is the only black-owned radio station in this city.
Yep. Only one. The only one.
And it is a fact that she booted us from Gallia Hall, too, for Mardi Gras.
Yep. No more Gallia Hall, but we got.
That's all right. We got to get on Gallia Hall
on Jackson
Avenue, baby. We're self-reliant.
Yep.
We do for ourselves.
So, all right, we got more coming up, y'all. Everybody, hold tight, y'all. We got more coming up next, right here on WBOK.
AURN News.
The president is in Michigan today trying to seize back a narrative that is slipping from his grasp. He'll stand on the factory floor of a GM proving ground in Milford, framing his tariffs and tax cuts as the engine behind a manufacturing comeback. But the backdrop tells a rougher story. Gas prices climbing, inflation refusing to cool, a widening conflict with Iran that's dominated headlines for months and rattled voter confidence. The president is polling at around 36%. according to a recent poll. He'll have to convince a skeptical swing state that his economic playbook is working just 8 days before Michigan's primary reshapes the battle for governor and Senate, while having the worst marks of his political career, even with his own party growing restless. And Michigan's assembly lines won't be able to drown out the noise from Washington and the Middle East. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back. I'm pretty and petty. In the words of Cardi B.
Pretty and petty.
Petty and pretty.
So, I don't know why we get so excited sometimes about things that she said. I mean, she said it, so that's.
I'm just happy she said it.
I'm glad she got it out.
I like to know where people stand.
Right. So when we jump on you, just know that we're jumping on you not because we don't like you. We're jumping on you because
you don't want to come here and address the issues.
So since you don't want to address
if you wanted to have, look, everybody who comes on this show does not agree with us, and that's okay.
All the time.
Everybody who posts on the Facebook feed does not agree with us, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. I've had callers come to tell me I think you're wrong. That's okay. We can respectfully disagree if we can communicate.
Yep.
But at the point you are unwilling to communicate with someone who has a different point of view than you do, then
you're biased.
I think you're the one who has a bias. You're the one who's being unfair, and maybe you're the one with the problem.
I don't know why it's that way now. I guess it's her, because I text Troy. I asked Troy to address it too. But I'm about to text Jeff, and let me make sure that everybody understands that. We have the ability to talk to them as much as possible and let them answer this and say something about this, because this ain't nice. And don't forget, Jeff has a newspaper too, Black Source Media.
Yeah, I just think she's looking kind of petty on the Bayou Phoenix front. You know, first of all, New Orleans and East, the city, the state needs the economic development that Bayou Phoenix can certainly bring. You made a campaign promise to bring economic development to New Orleans East.
Right.
By not supporting Bayou Phoenix and its development, you are hurting the constituents of New Orleans East. You're hurting the city. You're hurting the state. You are upholding a petty agenda and a vendetta against someone who supported one of your opponents, Oliver Thomas, to harm your own constituents. You're being penny wise and pound foolish. You are foregoing millions of dollars in tourism, millions of dollars in other businesses that certainly would have come had that facility been there. And you are doing so because your feelings got hurt, that some ads were run in support of your political opponent. Well, there's no feelings in baseball. There's no feelings in politics. You do what's right for your constituents, even if they disagreed with you at some point, or still disagree with you, or were a political adversary at some point.
Why? Just why?
You know, just like another campaign promise was that she was a big advocate for the agriculture street landfill community. One of the first things she did when she got in office was say, I'm not honoring the commitment to pay them.
Right. And that money that they did go to some of the homeowners
was a sale, a real
that
estate sale. So, you know, you've already shown your willingness, your desire to backstab the people of New Orleans East and backstab the people of the Agriculture Street landfill, to whom you owe multi-millions of dollars when it does not suit you. And I don't hear much going on either with
hold on a minute.
That lake,
Naira.
What they're doing with the lake, the beach,
Call Jeff
the
Thomas.
Lincoln Beach. I don't hear anything about Lincoln Beach either. So were you really looking out for the people of New Orleans East? Were you really trying to help them? Or, I don't know, what were you doing? Were you just saying what you thought people wanted to hear?
And look, and honestly, the folks are telling me that money for the not Bayou Phoenix, but for Lincoln Beach is missing.
Right. So where's the money for Lincoln Beach? I think it went to buy the houses in Gordon Plaza, if you ask me, because there were two line items in the budget, one for $15 million to purchase houses in Gordon Plaza, one for $15 million to Lincoln Beach, and all of a sudden, the Agriculture Street landfill Gordon Plaza homeowners were paid $30 million. 15 and 15 is 30.
Right.
That's how I do my math. So, you know, and then I think you just did that to make yourself look good, because you said you were buying a solar farm, and that's why you were buying those houses. I haven't seen a solar farm in the Agriculture Street landfill area.
Me neither.
I think you just wanted to make yourself look good for your campaign.
One of the owners of this radio station is on hold to have some conversation with us. Jeff Thomas. Jeff, were you with us? Hey, sir.
Hey, G. Hey, Suzette. I've been listening. You guys have been knocking it out of the park. How y'all doing today?
We're doing well, Jeff. We kind of put off that it's in writing that your mayor is intentionally spiting WBOK.
Yeah, I find that also off-putting. Listen, the door is open for her to come on at any time. I am hopeful that she reconsiders, because, as you said, she was elected to serve all of the people. Now, it was well known that Troy and I were big Oliver Thomas supporters. We put together a campaign that we thought would help him get elected. Unfortunately, we came up short. The people spoke. But, being a sore winner is a problem for me. It's a problem because, listen, that election is over. All of the stuff that happened is in the past. Now you are the mayor of the citizens of the city, and every citizen deserves to hear from you. Every citizen, the people who listen to WBOK don't listen usually to other radio stations. Sometimes they do, but many of them don't. Many of them are loyal listeners of ours. And she is aware of that, and I just think that she should reconsider and come on. I've been told by some of her close advisors that she is, in fact, going to be coming on relatively soon. And so I am hopeful that she will come on and answer the tough questions, because like you said, we are, I love Wild Wayne too. I don't know him like you guys, but I think his what he does is music based and short, not long kind of conversations that we tend to have to dive deeply into the issues. And so, I'm just hopeful that she is going to come on soon, because our listeners deserve to hear from her. There are lots of questions that I have that, I know that you guys or any other show would ask her. And, we need to hear. We need to be informed by the mayor.
I think you're correct that there are certain questions that only the mayor can really address. And I've been in political campaigns where I've supported a candidate who did not win. I have been a candidate who ran for office and did not win. I don't hold grudges against the people who supported my opponent or who supported the other candidate. That's just not a mature way of doing business. I just think that it's important that the mayor be open to addressing all of her constituents. As a matter of fact, her campaign slogan was, "We're all in."
That's right.
If we're all
And so,
in,
listen,
we're included in all, I would think.
I'm a bit more optimistic than you guys. I think that she's going to come on. I, in fact, have talked to, again, like I said, some of her close advisors, and I think that she is aware that she needs to come on. I think she is aware that, there's value to her to come on to talk to the listeners of WBOK. She needs to fully engage our audience and listen to the perspective of people like Shedrick, who might call, or Alicia, or any of the members of the public who are frequent callers who might have questions for the mayor, and as well as whatever tough questions we might come up with. Nobody here wants the mayor to fail. I don't think you guys think the mayor should. We need the mayor to be successful. And the only way she's going to be successful is if all boats rise and she has perspective from all people. She can't be blind to a segment of the community that has needs, wants, and desires that government should fulfill. And so I think it's important that she come on and address our audience.
It's apparent to me, though, Jeff, and I say this, that what she's getting ready to go through with Jeff Landry, and what she's going to have to go through with Muriel, she's going to have to get all of the support and put it in her bag.
That's right.
And I think that we bring just as much conversation about the politics for all the citizens of New Orleans that she could possibly bring up to say, hey, I need the support. Don't have us not in your corner, and I think that's a big mistake.
That's right. I agree with you, Dree. And, I'm just going to kind of repeat myself, but I think that her role, as Suzette has said, as Shedrick has said when he called, is to represent the entire community. Those people who agree with her, those people who disagree with her, those people who want more information. And the only person that can we need to hear it from the horse's mouth. We need to hear it from Mayor Helena Moreno. If she's going to be successful, she's got to help all boats rise. And that may be people who disagree with her. But we can help. Listen, good leaders listen to varied perspectives, because you get in a bubble and you start thinking my way is right and the only way to do it is this way, and you miss important critical information. So by stonewalling us, she's doing herself a disservice, as well as our audience, as well as the community. And so, I'm hopeful and optimistic that she'll be on in relative short order.
Well, that's one viewpoint. Mine is stay over there. You want to stay over there, stay over there, and just stay out the black church and stop courting our vote.
But listen, if she never comes on, then Suzette, and I'm with you.
Right.
But I think that, I talked today, in fact, to Tyler Bridges, who wrote the piece, and, he kind of expressed some thinking that, she understands the opportunity to come to WBOK. And listen, guys, y'all don't want the mayor to fail, right? Y'all want the mayor to be successful. We need her to fight back against Baton Rouge, to fight back against those parts of the community, the parts of the state that will try to do us injustice. We need to have a strong, united front. All of us are in this battle together.
But Jeff,
they're coming for all New Orleanians. They're not coming for just Helena. They're not coming for just Jeff. They are coming for all of us.
But Jeff,
and
if you just think about something for a minute, she is extending an olive branch to the people that's trying to kill you.
That's right.
And we're extending an olive branch for you to try to get the people that's going to stop them from killing you. That don't make sense.
Right, we're doing the same thing. That's right, right. Listen, she's doing to us what they're doing to her. And you would think that she would be more empathetic and sympathetic to, what she's doing. You would think, I'm frankly a little perplexed by, listen, sore winners, you go through that and you think you're all powerful and you think that you don't need this part of the community because, heck, you won without it. But you were elected to serve everybody.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to be successful is if you hear from everybody. And you cannot, isolate New Orleans East. You cannot, pull back on commitments you made to New Orleans East. You cannot pull back on commitments you made to black business people. I'm concerned about Lincoln Beach. I'm concerned about Bayou Phoenix. Those are just some of my concerns. I live in Algiers. I'm concerned about things that are happening in Algiers.
Are you hearing that this Lincoln Beach money is not where it's supposed to be, or they're trying to find it? Have you heard that?
I absolutely have. I absolutely have heard that things that were designated for Lincoln Beach are now being directed to other areas of town, not even New Orleans East. And so if that is in fact the case, then we need to know why is that happening. If that's not the case, then we need to know that it's not happening.
Right.
But we are out here, that's why the mayor needs to come on to fully inform us, to help us to understand what's going on. And if she doesn't, then, that's another story. And then Suzette, I'm on your side of the aisle.
Well,
but I'm right now, I think that she's going to come on, guys. I think, that she will be on WBOK and she will talk to our audience, and we'll all have an opportunity to call her and ask a tough question.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Is that a $5 or $10 bet? Which one you want me to get him?
Well, I bet you 25 she doesn't come on a reality check.
Yeah, she.
But one of the hallmarks of effective leadership is great leaders surround themselves with people who tell them what they need to hear, not simply what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave you with
right.
that.
All right,
I hear you 1,000%.
Thank
you, guys.
Thank you,
for
man.
the
Appreciate it.
But look, I got to come on next week. G, I got a big announcement for the city, for the state, for the country. Some product we've developed, and I'm going to share it on WBOK first. So whenever you give me some time to come on, I'll be happy to come on. I'll come in and sit with you and Suzette, and we can talk about all kinds of things. There's so much going on. I wrote an interesting piece that has, I think like 100,000 people have read it so far today. And if you missed it, it's about the Sewage and Water Board.
Jeff, the number's 504-582-9422. You can call anytime.
Anytime. Now.
I can call whatever I want. I hear you. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you. I know we got to take a break.
Go read his piece.
Thank y'all.
All right, y'all. That's going to wrap things up for us. Go to the Facebook page. Go to my Facebook page and get on there and donate $20. How about that? $20. To who? Go ahead on and send it to Tiffany so that we can bury her mom. We can get this done. We can get all this done. The Facebook is Gerard G-Man Stevens. The GoFundMe is right above this show. So go look for it. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll give you more updates and make sure that you have all the news on tomorrow right here at WBOK.